Jocko Willink says, the most fundamental and important truths at the heart of extreme ownership. There are no bad teams, only bad leaders. Hello, my name is DWILSON, and I am talking with you about what I believe is important and can be most valued as a leader. I served in the military for 20 years, developing skills of a leader through formal education, mentors, achievements, and experience. Today, I will discuss my critique on the book Extreme Ownership: How U.S. Navy SEALs Lead and Win, written by Jocko Willink and Leif Babin. As I looked through the list of many leadership books recommended, I decided to read Extreme Ownership: How U.S. Navy SEALs Lead and Win. The first thing that captured my interest was the Navy SEALs part of the title. I wanted to find out the perspective of leadership from a department of the Navy I was unfamiliar with. The Navy SEALs are an elite force, and for the 20 years I spent in the Navy, I was not involved with the SEALs. My only experience with the SEALs has been watching Hawaii Five-0 with Commander Steve McGarrett portraying an ex-Navy SEAL, and NCIS Los Angeles and Agent Hannah also portraying an ex-Navy SEAL. But Jocko and Leif are SEAL officers who, after leaving the Navy, created a business assisting companies in leadership issues. Their approach to leadership is similar to my approach to leadership. You have to own it, whatever it is. The book represents what leadership is in the perspective of the mission. Also, the book makes a connection between the leadership of the military and how the same concepts can greatly improve leadership in civilian workforce. Taking the approach of extreme ownership, leaders can develop successful teams and in return carry out the mission of the team and or the company. Extreme ownership can have a great impact on graduate students seeking a management position. If you are looking for a position in leadership, this book gives you the key elements in managing a team of employees. Extreme ownership is divided into 3 parts, with each part consisting of 4 chapters. Each chapter has a story of an experience either Jocko or Leif had during his time in the SEALs, followed by an explanation of the principle from the story, and ending with an application to business. The application paints a picture of the work Jocko and Leif accomplished during their consulting. Part 1 talks about winning for the war within. People struggle with accepting responsibility for their actions and taking ownership of their leadership position. Part 2 talks about the laws of combat. It emphasizes the importance of planning and prioritizing the procedures involved in leadership. And Part 3 discusses the strategy of sustaining victory as a leader and in the workplace with teams. Leaders must have a plan, follow through with the plan, become decisive, and be definitely disciplined. The authors of Extreme Ownership are projecting that not all people were born leaders. Most need to be molded into leadership, but everybody can become leaders. When a person takes extreme ownership of oneself internally with discipline, great leadership can prevail. Extreme Ownership was written with the intent to enlighten and educate individuals on leadership and the elements needed in becoming a good leader and maintaining the skills required of a leader. The authors wrote this book as a storyline to their success in the SEALs as developing leaders to the continual success as leadership consultants. Their intentions for the book are to compare the leadership skills of the military to the skills of the civilian leadership in the workforce and how the connections are similar. Babin talks about his experience at SEAL training in Chapter 2. He tells the story of how the students are put into teams and an officer is assigned as the leader of each team. He explains how one team continuously struggles with improving during each boat race, how they are virtually losing every race. The leader of this crew was placing blame on his team, making excuses for his actions, and losing confidence in his team. The senior instructor decided to make a change in leadership by switching the leader of Boat Crew 2 with Boat Crew 6's leader. Boat Crew 2 leader possessed the most leadership traits as described in Nordhaus's book on leadership. Nordhaus discusses the 5 major traits of a leader: intelligence, self-confidence, determination, integrity, and sociability. When Boat Crew 2's leader moved to Crew 6, the results of the next race validated that the team was not the issue, but the leader. Boat Crew 6 finished first in the next races as a result of Boat Crew 6's new leader having confidence in his team and pushing them to work together and focus on the mission rather than of what everyone else in the boat was doing individually. As a leader, you want your team to work for you. You can gain the integrity of your team through strength and self-confidence, intelligence, and determination of carrying out the mission. Once a leader has developed the skills needed in maintaining a good team, sustaining the team spirit is an ongoing effort for the leader. Leaders must become servants of leadership, as explained in Chapter 10 of Nordhaus's leadership book. Some of the behaviors a leader must have are building their followers' growth and empowering them to succeed. The leader must lead up and down the chain of command. Babin explains the principles of leading up the chain of command with a scenario of a corporate management that does not understand what is happening in the field. Babin informs the field manager that maybe your management doesn't know because you are not informing them of what is happening. Keeping the upper chain of command informed only benefits you and your team as well as the company. Also, if the upper management knows what is happening, maybe they will not need to inquire so much information or ask so many questions. Jocko and Leif took their leadership experience and transformed hundreds of thousands of readers around the world. With their leadership consulting business, Echelon Front, many companies have improved leaders throughout. As quoted from the book, Extreme Ownership, leaders must own everything in their world. There is no one else to blame. Extreme ownership has given me the opportunity to self-reflect my leadership skills. I am always willing to learn new things daily, and this book has enlightened me with the understanding that owning myself and holding me accountable for those on my team, extreme ownership, I can develop intrinsically the soul to become a great leader for my students, colleagues, superiors, and others. Jocko and Leif created an outstanding platform for leaders to follow and a foundation for those in their infancy of leadership. The authors break down the principles of leadership by sharing their experiences while connecting those experiences with that of the corporate leadership and management. Everyone can be a leader given the right information and motivation. Hence why I recommend this book to anyone who wants to become a leader. I would also recommend this to be a reference material for all master's degree programs. The military is put into many difficult and dangerous situations. The military leaders demonstrate a high skill level of extreme ownership, and corporations can learn from military leaders. Thank you.